Hey guys, how are ya? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. First, can we just appreciate the shirt? How cute is this shirt? I love it. You know it's new to me from Goodwill, of course. $5.99. Thank you very much. Of course, the guy who probably owned it first is probably dead, but $5.99. I think it's a super cute shirt. Short sleeve, fits nicely. Very happy with it. Okay, so that's not what I wanted to talk with you guys about. What I wanted to talk with you guys about is change. Our new contract was ratified April 1st, but a lot of big things didn't really come into effect or start changing until this month, May. And I figured I'd chat with you guys a little bit about those. There is going to be I'll talk with you a moment about my new pay rate. Very exciting. Oh my God, losing my mind. I'm so excited. Our per diem rate has gone up. Super excited about that because that's a fair amount of money in my paycheck that's tax free. So yay. And our bidding process has changed. Open time, how we swap trips, who can get what when has changed a lot, and timing for certain has changed a lot. So a lot of changes that took effect this month, and I figured I'd chat with you guys a little bit about them. First off, let's talk about per diem. Now, if you don't know, in the airline industry, there's something called per diem, and I'm sure there's other industries that have it too, but we get a certain amount of money every hour we're away from base. So from the time we check in for our trip through returning back home to our domicile, we get a certain amount of money. Now, when I first started, I forgot what it was. It was like $2.30 something an hour, $2.40 something an hour. Then it went up. I don't know what numbers in the economy that matter, but it's based on something on the economy and inflation, I think it is. But our per diem went up this year to $2.82. So it's practically almost $3 an hour. So $2.82 an hour our per diem has gone up to. And any trip that's longer than 24 hours, there's all sorts of little minutiae that you have to keep in mind. Any trip that's over 24 hours, that per diem is tax-free. Nice, right? So I just popped a calculator open on my laptop and did a little math because I can't do it myself in my head. So this trip I'm on right now, which is a trip I picked up, so it's in addition to my regular schedule. The trip I'm on is away from base about 69 hours. 69 times 2.82 is $194.58. Tax-free. Thank you very much. So I'm very, very happy about that. I think our old per diem was $267 or something like that. So it's not like an enormous raise, but over the course of a year, it's a lot of money. So very happy about that. My pay rate has changed. I've done videos, and I have to do another one about how much money I make as a flight attendant. The first year or two is painful. Well, that's less painful now than it used to be. My newest coworkers, their pay rate to start is really crappy. It is very, very crappy for the first 6 months. It's less crappy, but still crappy, up until their first year. Then I think as of January, they'll be making like 30 an hour, 30 change an hour at their end of their first year, at the beginning of their second year. It took me 4 years to get to that point. So I'm very, very happy for our newest flight attendants because they'll be able to reach a livable wage sooner than we did. So I'm very, very pleased for them. Let me look at my phone in a moment and see what my pay rates have been and what they are right now, so I can give you a little look-see into how my paycheck might be changing soon. All right, so hold on one sec. All right, so I think I can share this with you. I don't think it's secret or anything. It's our new pay rate according to our new contract. So it's a little funny, this little chart. So I'll give you a little tour. First, I'll see if you can follow along with my cursor, which is right over here. So you can sort of follow along with me. On the left-hand side, you'll see the number of years of service here. Then this next column right here, which is our pay rates from our last contract. The next column over is as of the new contract. The next column is our pay rate as of January 1st, 2024. And then the next column is our pay rate as of January 1st, 2025. Now, these are the pay rates as they'll be at those dates. The pay that I'll be getting, or each of us will be getting, may depend on our hire dates as well. So our pay rates might change, not just, super following along each line as they go. But let's look at where I used to be in my pay rate, where I am right now, and where I'm going to be in the future. So if we look on the left-hand side, see that little turquoise 6 right there? It's kind of hard to see on this. I'm sorry, it's so small. But that little turquoise 6, that's where I was last year. I was in my 6th year, and I was making, right here, you can see $33.94 an hour. That was my hourly rate. If you're new to the industry, that sounds like a lot of money, but if you really just divide that in half, and you would see what a regular 40-hour pay rate would really normally look like. So it sounds great. It's not spectacular, but it's better than it could be, right? So $33.94 was what I was making. Then, as of April, not only was the contract ratified, but it's also when I was released to the line, so it's my pay anniversary. So my paycheck, my hourly, went up to $36.10. Not a significant jump from $33.94, but I'll take it. It was $36.10. That's what I earned an hour for 1 month. Then, with a new contract, my pay rate went up to $42.89. So right now I'm earning $42.89 an hour. In my heart, in my soul, in my spending habits, I didn't make $36.10 for very long. I made $33.94 an hour for all of last year. So it feels like almost like a $9 pay raise. That's what it feels like, really. So very happy. As of January 1st, 2024, that $42.89 is going to go up to $43.75. And then, as of January 1st of 2025, I will go over and down to $46.78 an hour. So that's what my pay rate is looking like and where it's going to be. As of the next year, I will see what happens after that, but it could be closer to 50. So that's what's going on with my pay rate and how it's changed with our new contract. As you can probably imagine, I am over the moon because it just feels like a weight is lifted off my chest, honestly. Yeah, it feels like a significant difference in my future paychecks because that is about a $9 difference in terms of what I made last year per hour according to this year per hour. And if I multiply that, it's $8.95 times, say 80, because that's about the average number of hours I work. That's $716 an hour pre-tax, different than last year's paycheck. My mortgage minus my HOA is about $840 a month. So this pay raise practically pays for my mortgage. Could you feel the excitement? It just feels like a huge load off my chest. I'm just over the moon. So talked about per diem difference and change, and my income, my hourly change. Both those things together mean that I'm going to be making just more money each month. And my goal is to pay off one more credit card. I've got about $2,000 left on one credit card. And then I want to start throwing more money at a savings account, and I want to throw some more money at my mortgage. See if I can get that down. Once I pay 20% of my mortgage, I can have my PMI, the mortgage insurance, removed, and that would save me about $120 a month. So yeah, so that's what my financial goals are for the next year. Nothing too specific, but I want to get myself in the right direction, you know. And so what else has changed? Oh, our bidding process has changed quite a bit. So let me see if I can show you what it used to look like and what it looks like now. All right, I don't think this was a secret either, so I'm going to share this with you as well. This is, and I'm sorry, it's just a crooked computer screen. Sorry about that. So this is what we would call our bid sequence and timing for bidding for my April schedule. So this is past tense. This is what we used to do to bid and when we had to do things by certain times. So you can see bid would open on the 12th of every month. Bids would close on the 17th of every month, and by the evening of the 17th, our bid awards would be sent out. So I would know what my schedule was by the end of the day on on the 17th of each month. That happened every month. Bid contest close was the 18th, and that's when, say for example, I bid for a line and someone junior to me got that line instead of me when I should have received it. Then I could sort of contest the bid award and talk with crew scheduling about what happened and and fix that whole bidding mistake. But it's never happened to me. SAP begins, SAP ends. That was the 21st and the 23rd. So SAP is called schedule adjustment period. If I had training, if I had vacation, if I had two trips overlapping or touching each other, that made one of them illegal. One of those trips or whatever that was would have been removed from my schedule. During this period of time, the 21st, 22nd, and the 23rd, I would have been able to go into Flicka and pick up hours or a trip to replace those hours. Allowing me to pick up anything with up to 4 hours credit more than I was originally awarded. Does that make any sense? Yeah, I hated being SAP'd. I avoided it at all costs. So SAP awards were on the 24th. Relief awards. A relief line was made for those people who were awarded a relief line. And a relief line was whatever trips were left over after all the bidding was done, whatever trips were left open, like leftovers in your refrigerator. They would make a schedule out of leftover trips. And some people loved relief lines because sometimes you get the most amazing trips that you'd never be able to get with your seniority. And sometimes you got absolute crap too, kind of like leftovers, meatloaf, you know. So that's what a relief award was. And then open time, daily open time opened up on the 26th. Open time was based on seniority, 100% based on seniority. That was it. If you wanted to pick up something out of open time, you just hope that no one senior to you bid for that trip, because it was just always taken away from me. It was always taken away from me because someone who was like a 5'7" or a 6'2" or a 6'4" always got that trip before I did. And the key part that I want to talk about is that it was 100% based on seniority. And yeah, there you go. So let's look at how it has changed. All right, so this is now how it goes. It looks a little bit more confusing, and it kind of seems to be at first glance. So where bidding used to start on the 12th and end on the 17th, now it opens on the 10th, ends on the 13th. So we don't have as much time to bid, which makes bidding on the first day all the more important. I think there must have been like 50 reminders all over Facebook and all of our websites to remember when to bid, because you don't want anybody forgetting to bid with our new changes. Bid awards are released on the 13th now. It used to be the 17th. So I know a little bit earlier in the month what my schedule will be like next month. That's nice. Credit restoration is now the 17th, 18th, and 19th. And I believe that is, once again, like if I have a problem with how the bids were awarded. Say someone junior to me got a line that I bid for, that might be a time that that is addressed. Relief awards, if someone is awarded a relief line, that's once again one of those like leftover schedules that's just made up of all leftover trips. Those are done on the 20th now versus the 26th. And that's nice for relief line holders, because not finding out what you're doing next month until the 26th was really difficult, I'd imagine. And then final award, round 1 opens on the 21st, closes the 22nd. 2 opens the 23rd, closes the 24th. Round 3 opens on the 25th, closes on the 26th. And that is for seniority-based open time. So we're going to have 3 days where we can go in and pick up trips or swap trips or do anything with open time when it's based 100% on seniority. So it will still count. Seniority still counts towards swapping, picking up, whatever, dropping, anything. That will count for those 3 days. Afterwards, that last line on the 27th, basically it's free for all. It's first come, first serve on open time. Now that is groundbreaking, and I think it's going to make a huge difference in some people's lives. The people's lives I think that will be most impacted will be the junior flight attendants on reserve and the junior line holders. Now, the super senior people, I can appreciate their position and how some of them were disappointed with this change. Because if you're used to reaping the benefits of your seniority, which is how it is in the industry. Seniority is everything, and tough luck. You know, I've been here for a long time, sister. I get first dibs, right? It's just that way in the industry. So I can understand those people who are super senior, who are used to just getting whatever they want, dropping it, picking it up, swapping it, dropping it to somebody else. I get it. They're used to having that complete freedom. And I was getting there. I was almost there at my seniority. I was able to finally pick up trips because I'm just getting to be that senior, which is really nice. But the people who are junior, or like me, the trips I was often trying to pick up were grabbed by a more senior person. It was always someone with a seniority number that started with a 6'2" or a 6'4". Or a 6'8". I'm a 7'1". But the people whose seniority starts with a 10'5", they're always complaining, oh, those 7'1s, they always get what I want, So it was kind of a hassle. Now, I think if it's first come, first serve, everyone is going to have an equal opportunity. We're all going to be hustling, and this website's going to break down a lot. I can promise you that for a fact. But now it's going to be more equitable, I think. So the more junior and the reserve will have just as good a chance of picking up an open time as I will, or as a more senior person will. So hopefully it leaves a little bit more money on the table for those people who really need it, the junior people. And hopefully it makes things easier for those of us who want to be able to drop a trip. Because, dropping a trip wasn't always very easy. This is not a topic I was planning on talking about. But if you're in the industry, I'm going to ask you right now, do you have a minimum number of hours that you're required to fly each month? If so, drop it in the comment section. I'm very curious. I think JetBlue has like a 70-hour minimum. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I think. With my airline, we have a 0 minimum. We do not have to work a minimum number of hours. If I want to drop all of my trips, I'm never going to be in a financial position where I could do this, but I could drop all of my trips if I wanted the month off with my airline and not suffer any consequences outside of not being paid. for those hours. In my job, one change that did come into play with our contract is if I want insurance next year through my company, I do have to have a credit of at least 600 hours a year. It used to be 432 hours. 600 hours a year, I can certainly work. That includes vacation, jury duty, all sorts of stuff. So, but I don't have a minimum number of hours I have to work each month. So I'm not sure if that's the case with other airlines, but so I think it'll be easier to drop trips now as much as it will be to pick up trips. I see people really hunting trips on the on open time now. I'm going to see a lot of more activity on our Facebook drop, swap, pick up, whatever it is page. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But those are some changes that have come into play with our new contract. I'm super excited. I'm a little anxious. I'm a little anxious about being able to swap some trips out because, you know, again, it's going to be first come, first serve. And I'm not a hustler. I don't hunt Flicka for trips. I'm not that person. I'm not on Facebook, you know, wheeling and dealing. I usually bid for a line that I like, where I'm going to work all those trips with occasional swaps. So that's usually my method of bidding. But blah, blah, blah. I'm sure this video was zero interest to most of you people. I do apologize. But there's a lot of you out there who are interested in the industry and how things work. Now, something that I if you haven't thought this yet, think about it. Think about it. How much did I just share with you? How many variables are there? How many balls are up in the air juggling just when it comes to scheduling, just for bidding? That's just how do I plan how I want to work next month. That's just, all of that's just about bidding. The number of things we have to keep in the forefront of our mind in this industry is ridiculous. It's crazy. The number of things that have to continually play and the timing we have to be mindful of, not just daily for work, but weekly, monthly, for the year. It's crazy. The number of things we have to think about that come into play in how we do our jobs it's mind-boggling. I don't know how I do it, because I can barely put two and two together. Never mind, like, have a strategy for how I want my schedule to look next month. It's crazy. It's really insane. But I think that's it for this video. I hope it wasn't too confusing, or if it was too confusing, I hope it gives you a little insight as to how crazy this industry is. And no one teaches you this stuff. Like, you have to learn all of this pretty much on your own, which is spooky and horrible at the same time. But let me stop talking. I'm going to watch a movie. I am watching, Black Adam. I'm not sure why I'm so desperate to watch Black Adam. It's not a huge success, but blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go watch the movie, finish my soda, and then contemplate going to bed early. I've got a 5 a.m. shuttle tomorrow. So I will see you later. Bye. Oh, fly safe. I didn't say fly safe.